Hello and welcome to the last full week of the Every Bits Counts Challenge. My name is Lauren. Thank you for all those who have been coming along on this journey and watching myself, my husband, and even our little one to can preserve our food for the fall and winter. We have been canning as a family for 5 years now, I think. 5 or 6 years. I learned to can as a high school student from my grandmother, and I've been canning jams since then. But putting up fruits and vegetables for the year has been about 6 years, I would say. 5 or 6 years. So I hope you guys learned something new. I hope you found something inspiring that you're able to do. As this is the last full week, we are not done. We will be canning and preserving for another 2 months, maybe 3 months. We are in zone 7B now. And we are able to preserve food for quite a while. Our first frost date is not until the middle of November. So we prepped our garden this week. We got some new seeds in the ground for green beans and peas, and we're able to get a second harvest off of those. But before we even enjoy the green beans and peas that we planted, we are going to enjoy squash, apples, pears, watermelon. We even have watermelons that are still coming out, and pumpkins. So that will be on the docket for the next month, month and a half. And yeah, so we will constantly keep you guys updated. For those who have come along to enjoy what we've been doing around here. But let's get into the last full week of August. Welcome to day 23, where I am going to save seeds from these tomatoes. I grew these tomatoes. They have done so well. Very slow to ripen on vine. I mean, I have about 40 out there that are still green and nice large size. But there's 40 out there, so I can't complain about the quantity. Just I think it's the sun has a nice gigantic tree blocking it. But I'm gonna go ahead and save the seeds and then turn these two little tomatoes into a salsa for lunch. And all I do is just use a knife, not doing this well with one hand, but use a knife and scrape out the seeds. Also inside of the salsa will be banana peppers. Let me grab those. We grew these banana peppers also. And I have a spicy pepper on the porch I'm going to add just to my batch. But I'm going to save the seeds from these banana peppers also. And next year we'll probably grow 2 plants. This year we did 1. My dad is the one that loves them. I'm so about them. But it'll be great to actually grow more, because now I know what to do with them. So go ahead and clean out the seeds. That I'm going to dump these tomato seeds on, and it will help to soak up the tomato juice but leave the seeds on top. And it's just a plain cloth napkin. You can use cheesecloth, you can use paper towel. If you use paper towel, make sure you use more than 1 sheet, because oftentimes the tomato mixture will sit on the counter or sit underneath of it and cause your tomatoes to kind of dry to the napkin, and it's hard to peel them off. Okay. Now it's time to enjoy this little salsa. You guys around here to show you what the fermented veggies look like after a couple days. Matter of fact, let me switch it. These two are the red onions. Not much bubble action is going down on the red onions. They have been burped for 3 days now. These are the cucumbers. Lots of cloudy bubble action. You can see it almost when you tilt it towards the top of the jar. You'll see tiny bubbles rising up. And then the cauliflower definitely has some bubble action. I'm going to open the cauliflower, add in some peppercorns and a bay leaf to help increase the flavor. I should have did it from the beginning, but it's not too late to do it as it ferments for maybe one more day. Hello and welcome to day 24, and today we're going to get started with a great deal that I found at the grocery store. They had organic pineapple and organic mushrooms that was being clearanced out. We love mushrooms in this household, so to be able to get a couple 4-ounce jars on the shelf where I could just pop them open, throw it in spaghetti sauces, or make a cream of mushroom sauce very easily, is priceless. We are a dairy-free, gluten-free family, so we can't just buy the can of cream of mushrooms. I often have to make it. So I will show you the process of canning your own mushrooms. There is a recipe that's part of my canner's book, the book that came with my pressure canner. They have a recipe in it. The only thing I'm going to do is swap out the plain water to pressure can the mushrooms with beef broth. That's the only difference. But other than that, it's a very simple task. So step 1 will be to chop up all of the mushrooms. Let's get going. I'm doing slices, guys, because it's typically how we like to eat them. And I'm slicing them as best as or as evenly as I can, I should say. This is more, I think, almost pound and a half of mushrooms. So it should give us quite a bit of jars. And if you're interested in the size we're using, it is 4 ounces. Or just, I think it's another name is like a quarter of a pint. They're the perfect size for something like this. Behind me I have water boiling so that we can go ahead and get these dunked into boiling water for 5 minutes. And then into these little jars. So here are the mushrooms. They didn't do too bad. It created its own little broth, like a mushroom broth. You can strain off the liquid and make mushroom gravy. You can do different things with this. I was able to get 7 4-ounce jars for the future. So one of these jars right now at Target, the same size, non-organic, is already $1.25, I think it was. Score. All 7 of these was, I think, $1.38. Here is an example of how your money can stretch tremendously. I chopped up the pineapple, and this is what we have. I use 4 4-ounce jars to fill up. I turned them upside down so you guys can actually see it. I will send this jar with my son to his school. He can have glass. I just put a plastic top. When he gets home, I'll move on to the next jar for the next day of school. This 1.5 cups or so, we're gonna munch on right now. And then this freezer bag is full of the rest. When those 4 are empty, I'll pull this down, fill them back up. This bag should give us another 6 to 8 of these 4-ounce jars filled back up for him to take to school. Gotta give it a try. All of this was $1.98. That's how much that pineapple was. I wanted to introduce you guys to a concept you may not know if you're new to the eating from the farm world. These are called seconds. These tomatoes have little bruises on the bottom, which means that the bottom of this either touched the ground or it could have been anything. It's not a bug inside, and 9 times out of 10 it's not bottom rot. And then the top began to split either from overwatering, sun exposure, or growing too fast. This whole entire box was like $16, $17. I will be washing these up and chopping them up and making diced tomatoes in jars. I'm gonna get at least a case of quarts. A case of pints. I should probably get 1.5 cases maybe. These are massive, guys. What is the point of this? The point is that diced tomatoes are about $1 a can. Some on the cheap end lately. So yes, this case has gone up in price from $16, $17 than what I used to get them from. Get it for a couple years ago. However, I can still get it, and I'm still going to get more jars to eat off of than I would getting it from the grocery store. I think it's bigger than your face.
You took a picture?
Not yet.
They took a picture?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can make a stack of tomatoes.
You're gonna bruise them.
Not. I'm gonna stack them on each top and stack them like this.
have to get the size of the pot for you guys. The skins on a dehydrated tray, I'm going to separate those in a second. And then the liquid that was at the bottom of this bowl, I'm going to add it with the rest of the liquid. Liquids and seeds went in here. Heavy. And I'm letting it strain and pouring it into this quart-sized restaurant reusable container. I will have another idea of this later on, but for right now, we're going to capture all the seeds, separate all the liquids. Okay guys, this is the 13 jars of tomatoes that I was able to get out of half of the box of tomatoes. I was able to get some tomato powder going that's finishing up in a dehydrator, and yesterday I was able to do about 1.5 quarts of tomato drippings. I might as well call it juice, I guess, off of these tomatoes while I was dicing them. I'm going to figure out what to do with this when I finish this box. This box probably is going to give me another batch of diced tomatoes or maybe some salsa. I'm going to figure it out this coming week. But not bad for about 9 very large tomatoes that are considered seconds. These were tomatoes that the average grocery store would turn away. These are tomatoes that most people don't even want because it has scarring on it. But for me, it gave me 12 separate dinners. Let's get this put away. I want to truly thank you guys for coming along this week, and I hope you're able to put something up that you can enjoy this winter. If not, there are 4 more days left of this challenge. 4 more days left of this challenge. So I challenge you to jump on and get something preserved. Freezer, pantry, in jars, dehydrated, any way you possibly can. Until next week, guys, take care.